Very good evening to all of you. Today topic is very interesting and very practical because it is refund. It means it is you are providing or you are giving the revenue to your client. So it is very practical, but you need to understand it is very complex compared to the last chapter which we have discussed. Start करते हैं. So very good evening, Mohammed. So we know that we are exporting the goods or services or making the supply to the SEZ unit or developer. It can be with payment of taxes and it can be without payment of taxes. Now, let me understand by one practical example. So if I am asking the question, you can make the zero rated supply, export or SEZ, with payment of taxes and without payment of taxes. Which method you will opt? You tell me, suppose I am your client and I'm asking the question to use that I like to make the zero rated supply, export or SEZ. You suggest me which route I should go, with payment or without payment. Very good evening, Prerna, Mansa, Kirti and Mohammed Abdul. एक मिनट दीजिएगा मुझे. You tell me which route I will opt. With payment of taxes? With payment of tax? Why? You are required. So you mean to say first I have to pay and then take the refund? I would prefer without payment now. I would prefer without payment because here I'm not required to pay the taxes. So basically, I can say here my working capital would be blocked. Here my working capital would be blocked. Then why you are saying? This you need to refer. Very good evening, Namrata. Now try to understand. Let's say I'm talking about one situation. My tax liability is rupees 1 lakh. I am exporting the goods or services and my total tax liability IGST is 1 lakh rupees. There is input rupees 20,000. There is an ITC on account of input 20,000. Input service, let's say 30,000. And capital goods is 40,000. 43, 70, 20. So I have the 90,000. Now, suppose I have opted the route of with the payment of IGST. Suppose I have opted the route of with the payment of IGST. You tell me, can I use the 90,000 ITC for payment of rupees 1 lakh? First question, can I use the ITC of 90,000 for the payment of rupees 1 lakh? मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा सभी से, चैप्टर में कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी काफी ज्यादा है एंड दैट इज द रीजन आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन थ्रू द वेरियस एग्जाम्पल. मेक श्योर every example and every interlinking part should be clear. Can I use the 90,000 ka ITC for the payment of rupees 1 lakh? Answer is yes, I can use. So what I will do, 90,000 I will use the ITC and 10,000 I will deposit the cash. Now, when I go to the refund, how much refund would be given by the government? How much refund would be given by the government? Is it 10,000? Is it 90,000 or is it 1 lakh? अगर मैं इस केस में डिपार्टमेंट से रिफंड मांगता हूं, लेट्स से आई एम डूइंग द एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ सर्विस, लेट्स से आई एम डूइंग द एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ सर्विस. So when I'm demanding the refund, then how much refund would be given? 90,000, 10,000 or entire 1 lakh? The answer is how much you have paid the taxes. How much you have paid the taxes? The answer is rupees 1 lakh. So the entire amount would be refunded, rupees 1 lakh. This part is clear, correct? Then second is, if it is export of goods, suppose if it is export of goods, it says that no refund application. No refund application. It means it is automatic route. Which route is automatic? Export of goods on IGST. It is automatic route. Only goods with IGST is automatic route. How it is automatic? When you when shipping bill is being furnished and the data in the ICAI will be matched with the GSTR 1 and 3B. If it is matched, then system will issue the refund. System will give the refund automatically. You are not required to file the refund application at all. So when I will read either today or in the next class, rule 96, remember rule 96, it says if the export of the goods on IGST, it is shipping bill will be treated as refund application and it is automatic route. Shipping bill, no requirement to file the separate refund application like RFD1. yahan tak baat clear hai? We have discussed two small point. Coming back to the back point, previous point. So my point is that in this case, now I am saying that you are exporting the services without payment of IGST. Without payment of IGST. Any document which I need to furnish? अगर मैं without payment of IGST में जाता हूं, so do I need to submit any document to the government department? Do I need to submit any document? If yes, kindly give the name. I am going without payment of IGST. I'm exporting the goods or services or making the supply to the zero SEZ unit or developer. I like to do the zero rated supply without payment of tax. Kindly tell me the name of the document which I need to furnish. The answer is LUT, letter of undertaking. Okay. RFD 11. Now, in this case, if I have furnished the LUT, I am not required to pay any taxes. So, I am exporting the services under LUT. Then I am not required to pay the outward tax liability. Could be zero. I have the ITC of input 20,000. Input service 30,000, capital goods 40,000, total 90,000. In this case, whether I will get the refund, any refund, I have not paid any taxes to the government. Will I get any refund? If yes, then please tell me the amount. Is it 20,000? Is it 50,000? Is it 90,000 or no refund? क्या मुझे इस केस में कोई रिफंड मिलेगा? If yes, then amount. Very good evening, Geeta. how much refund I would be entitled? 20,000, 30,000 and 40,000. Answer to this question is 20 plus 30. You will get the refund of only 50,000. Why, sir? When you read section 54 plus rule 89, you will understand that in case of the LUT route to zero rated supply, in case of the LUT route to zero rated supplies, a refund of capital goods is not entitled. A refund of capital goods is not entitled. So it means you are entitled to take the refund of input. You are entitled to take the refund of input service. So the maximum refund would be 50,000. This would be one criteria why to go with the on IGST or not to go with on IGST. So this would be the criteria. If suppose I am a client and I am having the ITC on account of the capital goods, you will always say, Arun, go to the IGST route because indirectly you are getting the refund of capital goods as well. ठीक है. Underline कीजिए zero rated supplies LUT. Here there is a formula which we will discuss 89.4. We will discuss at a later stage. Let me switch to the study material, but before that I like to tell you, Mr. A was doing the business and he has expired. He has sold the business to, let's say, XYZ Limited, or his legal heir has sold the business to XYZ Limited. My question, can ITC be refunded? In which case can ITC be refunded? Situation number one. Situation number two, Mr. A expired and his son like to continue that business. In the second situation, continue that business. And first situation, he has sold that business. Third situation, Mr. A has huge purchase and no sale. क्या refund मिलेगा? Can ITC be refunded? Kindly tell me. Yes, to that extent it is beneficial. So I am just telling you that why sometime it is beneficial. Which one will beneficial? One factor I told you that ITC, the capital goods, may be one of the determination factor. In expire हो गया, उसने उसका लीगल हेयर ने उसका बिजनेस सेल कर दिया XYZ को, उसके अकाउंट में काफी ITC था. Will that ITC be refunded? Second, A has his son has continued that business, or let's say Mr. A is expired and GST number is cancelled. In which situation the ITC would be refunded by the government. ITC would be refunded by the government. Section 54 subsection 3 says, Section 54 subsection 3 says, 54 subsection 3 says, you will, in which case you will get the ITC ka refund. You cannot get the refund of ITC in any situation. In any of the four situations, not entitled to take the refund of ITC. Section 54 subsection 3 ka proviso says that ITC can be refunded only in two circumstances. My dear friend, always remember this situation. कभी भी कोई भी पूछे आपको ये दो सिचुएशन आपको मालूम होनी चाहिए. आईटीसी का रिफंड मिलेगा? नहीं मिलेगा, except two situation. What is the two situation? If you are making the zero rated supplies under LUT, if you are making the zero rated supply under LUT, so my chapter is refund. I'm not talking about ITC मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा. ITC तो हो सकता है किसी सिचुएशन में मिल भी जाए. I am saying my question was whether refund would be admissible or not in the last four situation. The answer would be no. 54 subsection 3 says ITC ka refund will be admissible only in two situation. Geeta, because section 54 subsection 3 says that ITC का refund कभी नहीं मिलेगा. You can transfer the ITC, no problem. You can transfer the ITC, no problem, but you cannot take the refund in the bank account. ITC once taken, If it is going concern basis पे transfer कर दिया, if it is sold to another entity, no problem. You can transfer the ITC through ITC 02. You can transfer the ITC through ITC 02, but the point is refund of ITC would never be admissible. Refund का मतलब मुझे बैंक अकाउंट में मेरे को पैसा मिल रहा है, never, except two situation. If you are making the zero rated supplies under LUT, so zero rated supply will include export and SEZ, and it can be of goods or services, right? And second is inverted duty structure. Quickly tell me, we had discussed this concept. What is this? Inverted duty structure क्या है? What is the inverted duty structure? What is the inverted duty structure? अभी तक we have not touched the study material at all. Might be I need some more time to discuss basic understanding level, then we will move to the study material. What is the inverted duty structure? Tell me. I'm coming in half a minute. Just bringing water. बहुत बढ़िया, मजा आ गया. The question is, what is the inverted duty structure? Very clear. So rate on input is more than rate on outward supply. So let me talk about one minute. Rate on input is more than rate on outward supply. Now, my very, very specific question to all of you, and this question again, it will give the clarity. Is it only goods, only services, or both? Or let's say only capital goods, only capital goods, or all? Next question, rate on outward supply. So whether outward supply should be of goods, only services, or both? This is my question number 1, and this is my question number 2. It will give the very clarity. ये बहुत important question है, ये बहुत important question. It will give the huge clarity to you. Question number one. Answer is A, B, C, or D. In question number 2, answer is 1, 2, or 3. Please give me the answer for the question number 1. Again, you can write 1 A, B, C, D, E, or in the question number 2, you can write 1, Roman 2, Roman 3. So clear? Answer to the question number 1 is only goods. Answer to the question number 1 is only goods. Therefore, when you go for the refund of section 54 subsection 3, refund of ITC on account of inverted duty structure. When you go for the refund of ITC on inverted duty structure, rule 89 subrule 5 says we will give the refund of only goods input. We will not give the refund of input service. We will not give the refund of capital goods. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? We have discussed that section 54 subsection 3 says you can take the ITC का refund in zero rated supply under LUT and under inverted duty. But what is the difference? A difference is here you will be entitled to take the refund of input and input service. किस चीज का रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा इस केस में? इस केस में कैपिटल गुड्स का रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा. And in this case, will you get the refund of input, input service, capital goods? यहां पर सिर्फ आपको पहले वाले का रिफंड मिलेगा, बाकी दो ब्लॉक है. Whether question number 1 is crystal clear to you? गलती मत करना. See, please do not do the mistake. It is very, very technical discussion. But I'm taking in a normal pace, very normal speed. So I hope it is clear, right? Question number 1 is clear to you. Now move to the question number 2, rate on outward supply. Remember, the word input, input service, capital goods, all three words are defined. Input means goods other than capital goods. Capital goods means goods which is being capitalized. तो गुड्स क्या हो सकता है? या तो कैपिटल गुड्स होगा या फिर इनपुट होगा. एंड रेस्ट इज इनपुट सर्विस. पॉइंट इज if I am using the word input, it has been defined in the GST. Input means goods other than capital goods. Therefore, my answer for the question number 1 was only goods. Now, outward supply, the right answer is both. Right answer is both. It means outward supply can be of goods, can be of services, no problem. It means suppose Mr. A is a AMC service provider. Suppose Mr. A is a AMC service provider charging the GST at the rate of 18%. For the AMC services, he purchased the part at 28%. Is it inverted duty? Part is basically raw material. Okay. It is goods other than capital goods. So it become input. Is higher than the rate on output. Output can be goods or outward supply can be goods, can be services. So answer is yes, it is inverted duty structure and the refund would be entitled. What is mean? Goods which are capitalized. So you purchase the plant and machinery. It is goods, correct? But it has been capitalized in the books of accounts. So this will be called as capital goods. If you purchase the, let's say, stationery item, it is goods, but you are not capitalizing. So it becomes input. Why outward supply not include capital goods? See, very good question. Namrata, the point is ITC is being divided in three parts. ITC can be of input service, can be of capital goods. But outward supply could be either goods or services ना. GST क्या है? Goods and service tax. तो सेल किसका करूंगा मैं? या तो गुड्स का या सर्विस का. If I am doing the sale, it can never be capital goods. If I am, say, dealing in the plant and machinery, it is my goods because it is my trading item. It can never be the capital goods, the item which I am doing the sale. So therefore, outward supply can be goods or can be service. That's it. क्लियर ना? चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. I am at page number 33, refund of unutilized ITC. I am at page number 33, refund of unutilized ITC. Sir, why I have left? I will cover everything, just to be sure. But I will cover in the, not in the same order, I will go into the different order. मुझे page एक मिनट रुकिए. I'll write also the page which we are completing. So accumulation of input tax credit or possible because inward supplies is more than the tax liability on output supply, such can be utilized for payment of the output tax liability. However, the GST law permit the refund of unutilized ITC at the end of the tax period in two scenario. Which scenario? If it is on account of the zero rated supply or on account of the inverted duty structure. Okay, that is clear. Now go back. Here, government has the right. Here, government has the right. Here, government has the right to restrict. Government has the right to restrict certain category of the supply. Government has the right to restrict certain category of the supply. So you will learn that there is a notification. There is a notification for goods in which you can't take the refund of under inverted duty structure. Similarly, in the services, you can't take the refund. There is only one services. There is some good category of the goods. So if you are engaged in this type of the supply, then you can't take the refund of accumulated ITC due to the inversion. Okay. So that we will discuss. Which I have, so it is already Zoom, I think. Now it is okay. एक बार नम्रता confirm करना. Cases when the refund of ITC is available, unutilized ITC at the end of any tax period in the following cases: zero rated supply without payment of tax and inverted duty structure. And this part we have discussed in export import class. SEZ should be supplied to the SEZ should be for authorized operation only. Okay. A registered person making zero rated supply may supply the goods or services of bond under without payment of IGST to claim the refund of unutilized ITC. Okay. Then inverted duty structure. I have explained that inverted duty structure. They have given the example like supplier who supply the goods to the merchant exporter at 0.1%. Okay. Then they are also eligible for the refund on account of the inverted duty structure that we have discussed in the export import class and repeated here also. Now the situation is supply of the specified goods where refund of unutilized ITC on account of the inverted duty is not available. It means here you are not entitled to take the refund. You are not entitled to take the refund of unutilized ITC. So what is that? In this case, for services, they have issued notification and covered schedule 2 para 5 clause B. Construction services. Construction of the complex building, civil structure or a part thereof intended for sale to the buyer either wholly or partly. Remember schedule 2 para 5 clause B. Agar you are doing the output supply of that nature, you can't take the refund of input. Second, for the goods they are saying rail, locomotive product, soybean oil, olive oil, palm oil, coal, etc. They are also covered in the inverted duty structure. So you can't take the refund. However, it is clarified that this restriction on the refund of unutilized ITC or the GST paid on input is not available. हाँ, refund में restriction सिर्फ किस केस में है? It is only for the inverted duty structure. It means if you are making the supply of the palm oil, making the supply of the rail locomotive product to the outside India, means it become export. In that case, you are well entitled to take the refund of ITC. There is no problem. Only problem, because of inversion, they are saying we will not give the refund. Application for claiming the refund would be RFD 01. So for every category of the refund, the time limit would be 2 years. 2 years from relevant date. 2 years would be counted from relevant date. And relevant date are different in every case. Relevant date are different in every case, like export of goods, when the goods leaves India. Export of service, when you bring the realization. Okay. Inverted duty structure, it is linked to the GSTR 3B, then 2 years. Section 77, it is saying that when you pay the correct taxes. So in multiple scenario, there is a different relevant date. But the time limit to file the refund application is 2 years. 2 years is linked to the relevant date always. Okay. Doctrine of unjust enrichment is not applicable. What is the concept of unjust enrichment? Try to understand the concept. Unjust enrichment means because of the refund, someone should not be rich unjustifiable reason. Refund के कारण unjustifiable reason के कारण किसी को rich नहीं बनाना है. It means you should not become rich because of unjustifiable reason. Example. I'm just taking one example, not appropriately linked with the refund chapter, but you will be able to understand the unjust enrichment concept. Let's say you are making the supply to the SEZ unit. Let's say you are making the supply to the SEZ unit or developer. You are raising the invoice by charging the GST of 18,000. इनवॉइस आपने कितने का किया? 1 लाख रुपए का किया. एंड यू आर रेजिंग द इनवॉइस बाय चार्जिंग द जीएसटी ऑफ 18,000. And you have collected entire amount 1,18,000. You have collected entire amount 1,18,000 from the customer of SEZ customer. At the same point of time, now you are applying the refund under zero rated supply category, because we know the supply to the SEZ unit is zero rated supply. Correct na? Supply to SEZ is zero rated hai. So now in this case, if one has applied the refund and get the 18,000, let's say from government, now see, he is getting 18,000 from customer and 18,000 from government as a refund. Now this is unjust enrichment. Doctrine of unjust enrichment, in such cases the refund shall, instead of being ready. So in this case क्या होता है? In this case what happened? Instead of giving the refund to the actual user, to the consumer welfare fund, they will pay to the applicant. In other words, doctrine of unjust enrichment is not applicable in these cases. In which case? Currently we are talking about inverted duty structure. We will discuss in the multiple different situation. But if it is proved that it is not unjustifiable enrich, then refund would be given to the applicant. If it is proved that there is unjust enrichment exists, then refund will be credited to the CWF, Consumer Welfare Fund. Now understand. So sorry, this point we are talking about, currently we are talking about zero rated supplies made under, sorry, export under LUT. ठीक है. Any doubt? अभी तक किसी को कोई डाउट है तो बताएं. Now we are reading the formula. Fine. What is the formula? You are making the zero rated supply. You are making the zero rated supply. And you are taking the refund of accumulated ITC. Doctrine, please repeat. So I am collecting the tax from customer, also taking the refund of the taxes. So basically I am getting the tax component twice. One from customer, one from government. It is called as unjust enrichment. So doctrine of unjust enrichment, it says that one, the applicant of the refund should not be enriched because of unjustifiable reason. तो मुझे अगर रिफंड गवर्नमेंट दे देगी तो क्या होगा, मुझे डबल बेनिफिट हो जाएगा. तो अनजस्ट एनरिचमेंट का मतलब, इफ समवन हैज बॉर्न द इंसिडेंस ऑफ टैक्स, हैज बियर द टैक्स फ्रॉम हिज ओन पॉकेट, देन उसको रिफंड दे दो इन द गिवन सिचुएशन. मुझे कंफर्म करते रहना बेटा कि क्लियर हो. जब भी कोई बच्चा क्वेश्चन पूछता है ना, जब मैं आंसर दूं उसके बाद कंफर्म कर देना. अगर वो फिर भी क्लियर नहीं है, वापस क्वेश्चन पूछ लेना, मैं रिपीट कर दूंगा, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, राइट. बट द पॉइंट इज, डाउट शुड बी क्लियर. मैं एक एक लाइन रीड नहीं भी कर रहा हूं चैप्टर का तब भी चलेगा, बट द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द रिफंड हैज टू बी क्लियर. रूल 89(4) says that turnover of the zero rated supply of the goods plus turnover of zero rated supply of services divided by adjusted total turnover multiplied by net ITC. What they are doing? They are doing basically calculating the ratio of export. They are calculating the ratio of export sale divided by total sale. So it will some percentage, and they are multiplying with ITC. So what happened? If they multiply with ITC and that ratio, it means I can say the ITC which is linked to the zero rated supplies. I can say that I have done the proportionate ITC to the extent of zero rated supplies, and uska refund mil jayega. Try to understand the formula. It's a bit difficult in the next scenario. Inverted duty mein, they are saying that you have the total ITC. You have the total ITC. Now this ITC, because you are making the sale of zero rated supply and you are making the sale of other item. So they are saying, what is the ratio? In that ratio, please apportion this ITC. So इस ITC को मैं zero rated के केस में अगर मैं proportionate करता हूं, then what happen? They will give the refund to that extent. We are calculating the eligible amount of the refund. So when you see the definition of the net ITC, so the definition of the net ITC, definition of the net ITC means ITC on account of input and input service. एक बार वेरीफाई कर लें. तो we have discussed here that input and input service, that is in case of the zero rated supply. Namrata, I have given the example of SEZ unit now. I am making the supply to the SEZ unit on payment of IGST, taking the tax component from the SEZ, also taking the refund of taxes from government. So this is 2 times of the refund. Will unjust enrichment not applicable in both the cases? We'll discuss one by one, but currently we are talking about zero rated supply. Currently we are talking about the zero rated supply. Let me reach to the inverted duty. Namrata, or example चाहिए? Do you need one more example? Let's say there is a concept of deemed export, correct? We had the discussion in the last class. Deemed export means supply to the export oriented unit, etc. In that case also they are saying you can make the supply of deemed export and subsequently you can go for the refund. I am a supplier, and if I raise the invoice to you and I have collected the tax from you also in addition to the value, then I cannot go for the refund because of unjust enrichment concept. Third example, I'm saying third example. Let's say I'm unregistered person. Let's say I am unregistered person. So I have purchased one flat. This example may create the confusion. तो अभी डिस्कशन नहीं करते, वी विल डिस्कस एट द रिलेवेंट स्पेस, बट अभी हम बात कर रहे हैं. सो टिल नाउ इज इट क्लियर? अंडरस्टैंड ना? ठीक है, तो ये तीसरा एग्जांपल बाद में लेंगे बिकॉज अदरवाइज इट विल क्रिएट द कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी. रिफंड टू द अनरजिस्टर्ड पर्सन, इट इज ऑल टुगेदर डिफरेंट डिस्कशन. प्रेरणा क्लियर है ना? प्रेरणा क्लियर है, राइट? नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट now you see turnover of zero rated supply of goods and turnover of zero rated supply the services. They might say that turnover of zero rated supply of goods and services. Try to understand. वो ये भी तो बोल सकते थे ना, turnover of the zero rated supply of the goods and services, but they are saying two different terms. They are using two different terms. Why? Because they have defined separately. What is the definition of the turnover of the zero rated supply of the goods? The value of zero rated supply of the goods made during the relevant period without payment of tax under bond or letter of undertaking, or 1.5 times of the value of like goods domestically supplied by the same or similar place supplier as declared by the supplier, whichever is earlier. Now they are saying other than the turnover of supplies in respect of which refund is claimed under rule 4A and rule 4B. यहाँ पे ये concept भी समझना है, but let me explain first this part. Mr. A is rice exporter. Mr. A is rice exporter. In the domestic market, he is making the sale of that rice is rupees 100 per kg. But in the international market, he could sell at 500 rupees per kg. At domestic, he is selling the rupees 100, but at international, he is making the sale of rupees 500 per kg. And let's say we are talking about the total 100, total 50 kg has been sold. छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेते हैं, 50 kg. तो कितना होगा इसका टोटल वैल्यू? एक्सपोर्ट का इनवॉइस कितने वैल्यू का होगा? It would be 2,500. Let's say it is USD or any currency. He had sold total 50 kg or 500 kg and the rate per kg is 500. So 525 and 40, 2,50,000. This is the exports invoice. But when we will go for the refund, when we will go for the refund, we have to calculate the export of goods plus export of services divided by adjusted total turnover multiplied by net ITC. यही तो फॉर्मूला है. Then we will calculate export of the goods. Then it says that you will calculate actual selling price. Actual price कितना है? 2,50,000 or 1.5 times of the domestic price. What is the domestic rate? ₹100. How many kg? 500 kg. So the rate would be 50,000 into 1.25. So it means or 1.5 or 75,000, whichever is lower. So it means when I will apply the refund formula, I will take the export turnover as 75,000. Why I am doing so? Because the explanation of the formula says that export of the goods means actual price or domestic ka 1.5 times. It could be the maximum amount which I can report as export in applying the refund application. This restriction is only for the refund application. So when I was talking about initially that whether I should go for on payment of IGST or without IGST means LUT. What is the factor that I should? I can say auto refund for export of goods, need to file refund application. Second, no limit of 1.5 times. Here upper limit of 1.5 times. Upper limit of 1.5 times for zero rated supply. Third is no restriction on refund of capital goods indirectly. Here, refund is input and input service only. मुझे कंफर्म कीजिए क्या ये तीनों डिफरेंस क्लियर है एंड क्या वो 1.5 टाइम्स का फॉर्मूला क्लियर है? एक बार मुझे कंफर्म कीजिए. इज दैट क्लियर? प्रेरणा फॉर्मूला क्लियर है, खाली मुझे ये चार्ट आपको रिपीट करना है, राइट? When I was discussing that which route I should opt, तो there are multiple factors which I should consider कि मुझे कौन सा रूट में जाना है. Out of that, I have pointed out some parameter, some factor. In case of the export of the goods, it is automatic route. But in case of the LUT, I have to file the RFD 01. In case of the IGST route, there is no upper limit of 1.5 times. Here, there is an upper limit of 1.5 times of the zero rated supplies in rule 89.4. Formula में वो upper limit है. And no restriction on refund of capital goods indirectly. It means you remember that we have paid the taxes of 1 lakh rupees and we have received the refund of entire 1 lakh. You remember that rupees 1 lakh I have made through ITC of 90,000 and 10,000 in cash. फर्स्ट पॉइंट नॉट क्लियर. आपने लीड ज्वाइन किया. नम्रता स्टार्टिंग का डिस्कशन देख लेना. 5 मिनट डिस्कशन किया था मैंने इस पॉइंट के ऊपर. सो प्लीज सी द फर्स्ट डिस्कशन वीडियो वाला, तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. एंड अब्दुल, यू रिमेंबर दैट कि हम 90,000 यूज कर रहे थे फॉर एंटायर 1 लाख. सो 90,000 इज कंसिस्ट ऑफ इनपुट सर्विस एंड कैपिटल गुड्स. तो क्या हुआ, यू आर यूजिंग द कैपिटल गुड्स फॉर पेमेंट ऑफ टैक्स एंड एंटायर टैक्स वुड बी रिफंडेड. इट मींस इनडायरेक्टली I could get the refund of capital goods. इसीलिए मैंने वर्ड इनडायरेक्टली लिखा. क्लियर है ये वाली बात. नम्रता छोटा सा मैं रिपीट कर देता हूं. नम्रता, जब हम एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ गुड्स करते हैं ना ऑन IGST, तो होता क्या है, जैसे ही मैं रिफंड जैसे ही शिपिंग बिल, जो शिपिंग लाइन कंपनी है वो शिपिंग बिल फर्निश करती है ना, तो आई स्टेट में शिपिंग बिल आता है एंड मैं यहां से GSTR 1 and 3 भी फर्निश करता हूं. अगर डेटा मैच हो जाता है तो गवर्नमेंट ये कहती है, रूल 96 ये कहता है कि रिफंड वुड बी डायरेक्टली क्रेडिटेड विदाउट एनी इंटरवेंशन. तो कस्टम वाले खुद ही बैंक अकाउंट में हमारे रिफंड रिलीज कर देते. क्लियर ना. नम्रता, मोहम्मद कंफर्म कर दिया आपने, थैंक यू. ठीक है, तो अभी वापस रिपीट करते हैं. आज अभी तक हम 1 घंटा हो गया, लेकिन वी हैव नॉट रीच्ड टू द मेन डिस्कशन. अब देखो, यहां पर इसने ना 4A एंड 4B को एक्सक्लूड किया है. इसका पर्पस समझिए. जब हम, ये फॉर्मूला है, इसमें जो नेट ITC है यहां से भी एक्सक्लूड किया है 4A एंड 4B, 89 4A एंड 4B. और जो टर्नओवर है उस टर्नओवर में भी उन्होंने एक्सक्लूड किया है 89 4A एंड 4B. क्यों किया है? एंड उससे पहले क्वेश्चन बनता है, ये 89 4A 4B क्या है? 2 क्वेश्चन बनते हैं यहां पर. फर्स्ट, ये व्हाट इज 89 4A एंड 4B एंड व्हाई इट हैज बीन एक्सक्लूडेड. नाउ लेट्स से आई एम एक्सपोर्टर. 89 4A 4B says that ITC due to the lower tax rate, ITC of lower bracket. मैं वापस रिपीट करता हूं. ITC on account of the purchase, on account of the inward supplies at substantial lower rate. You remember, I am exporter and I am purchasing the goods from merchant exporter. I am purchasing the goods at a merchant export. I am merchant exporter, so I am purchasing the goods at 0.1%. I am export oriented unit and therefore I am getting the purchase of taking the benefit of the deemed export wala. Or there is 2 custom notifications 78 and 79. It means I am exporter, but my purchase is at substantial tax rate, reduced tax rate. Deemed export, merchant export and 2 custom notification. अगर मेरी इनवर्ड सप्लाई, मैं कौन हूं? आई एम एक्सपोर्टर. If I am exporter and my inward supply is at substantial lower rate, then first point, this ITC of 0.1% etc. will not be included in net ITC. Also, it will not be included in the zero rated supply. मैं एक्सपोर्ट तो कर ही रहा हूं, लेकिन ये जो 89 4A 4B की परचेज वो जब मैं एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा हूं, देन दे आर सेइंग यू टेक द रिफंड सेपरेटली. सेपरेटली का मतलब क्या हुआ? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ सेपरेटली? आई हैव टू एक्सक्लूड फ्रॉम ITC, आई हैव टू एक्सक्लूड फ्रॉम टर्नओवर आल्सो ना, फ्रॉम न्यूमरेटर एंड डिनोमिनेटर बोथ. सो यहां से भी माइनस कर दूंगा, यहां से भी माइनस कर दूंगा और यहां से भी माइनस कर दूंगा. 89 4A and 4B, they are saying if you purchase at lower rate by taking the benefit of certain notification, deemed export, merchant export, or to custom notification, then they are saying you have to exclude this sales and ITC, this export and ITC from the formula. You will apply separately. And in the last class, recall that we have discussed one more thing, that if you purchase rule 96 sub rule 10, rule 96 sub rule 10 we have discussed in the last class. अगर मैं ऐसा परचेज करता हूं, कौन सा परचेज? बाय टेकिंग द सब्सटेंशियल बेनिफिट. इफ माय परचेज इज ऑफ डीम्ड एक्सपोर्ट, मर्चेंट एक्सपोर्ट, समथिंग लाइक दैट, देन आई कैन नॉट एक्सपोर्ट. मैं एक्सपोर्ट नहीं कर सकता ऑन आईजीएसटी की विदाउट आईजीएसटी. आई कैन नॉट डू द एक्सपोर्ट ऑन आईजीएसटी या ऑन एलयूटी. आई हैव डिस्कस्ड इन द लास्ट क्लास, सो आई नीड योर आंसर. अगर मेरी परचेज, इफ आई एम परचेजिंग बाय टेकिंग सब्सटेंशियल बेनिफिट ऑफ सर्टेन नोटिफिकेशन and I am exporting these goods, then export cannot be on IGST or cannot be on LUT. Export cannot be on IGST or cannot be on LUT. मैं इंतजार कर रहा हूं आपकी रिप्लाई का, ध्यान रखना. The answer is, if you are purchasing at lower rate, then you cannot export on IGST. Compulsory it will be under LUT route. Compulsory it will be under LUT route. Compulsory it will be under LUT route. ठीक है? I hope it is clear. So turnover of the zero rated supply, one comparison, and 89,4A,4B turnover of zero rated supply. Now the crux of this, invoice or payment, whichever is later. In short, I have explained this entire clause. In short, I have explained the entire clause. What is the meaning of turnover of the zero rated supply? It means I have issued the invoice, but payment is coming in the next 3 months. I have issued the invoice. What is the meaning of turnover of zero rated supplies? In other words, I can say now it is on payment basis. If I have issued the invoice, let's say on 2nd December 2023, but amount is being realized on 1st April 2023. In that case, 2024, in that case, this export of service will be counted. Export of the service would be counted in the month of April, not in the month of December. Second, suppose this invoice I have issued, but the payment is already being received in October 23. So I have received the payment in advance, but invoice has been issued in current date. So it means it will be counted in the December 23. This export, this zero rated supply, the service would be counted invoice or payment, whichever is later. Adjusted total turnover, turnover in the state or UT, excluding the service. Why service? Because service ka turnover has been linked to the payment basis. So export of the goods, total turnover in the state or UT, excluding services, turnover of the zero rated supply and non-zero rated supply of service, excluding value of exempt supply, and the turnover of 4A, 4B. Now, in the turnover, we are excluding this. We have already discussed. But why we are excluding this? Because if I have the exempt supply, then if I have the exempt supply, then you remember that I have to apply the rule 42, 43, proportionate reversal. By applying the rule 42, 43, I have to reverse ITC proportionately. So it means in the net ITC, you have reduced certain portion because of the exempt supply. So if I am not taking the amount in the numerator, I will exclude from the denominator also. Now there is two clarification. So first understand this explanation, and then I will explain you two clarification. For the purpose, the value of the goods exported out of India shall be taken as FOB or CIF, whichever is lesser. They are saying for the purpose of this sub rule, the value of the goods exported out of India shall be FOB value declared in the shipping bill or bill of export, as the case may be. So that is bill of FOB, and value declared in the tax invoice. So suppose I am exporting on CIF term. I am exporting the goods on CIF term. Let's say my total export value is 1 lakh rupees FOB, 10,000 I am charging on the insurance, and 5,000 I am charging on account of the freight. So the total invoice value is 1,15,000. But what is the FOB value? FOB is 1 lakh. So 1 lakh or 1,15,000, whichever is lower, that will be taken. Fine. What is that? They are saying value of the goods exported out of India. Now there was two doubt. There was two doubt which has been clarified by the different circular. Go back to the formula. In the formula, we have discussed that this value is 1.5 times maximum. We have just now discussed that this value would be FOB or CIF, whichever, FOB or invoice value, whichever is lower. Now the doubt was, when taxpayer was applying the refund was rejected on some ground. What was that ground? They are saying the rule 89 has given the definition of this zero rated supply the goods. They have not changed the definition of adjusted total turnover. No, it means here we will take the 1.5 times ka value. Here we will take the FOB value. But while calculating the total turnover, we will take actual sale. क्या होगा इससे? It means what they are doing, they are reducing the numerator, but they are keeping the same denominator. Or if numerator is lower and denominator is higher, I can say my refund amount would be reduced. ये वाला बात क्लियर हुआ क्या? एक बार कंफर्म करना. मानसा, आर यू देयर? नम्रता, प्रेरणा, अब्दुल, विजय, विराज, कीर्ति, कहां चले गए सब लोग? गीता, कंफर्म करो, ये फॉर्मूला क्लियर है ना? So the doubt was turnover of the zero rated supply of the goods has been changed. First, like 1.5 times, kept upper limit, and second, FOB or invoice value, whichever is earlier. हाँ, मैं रिपीट कर दूंगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. अब्दुल, मैं रिपीट कर देता हूं. श्योर. ना, एक बार ये टर्म याद कीजिए, टर्नओवर ऑफ जीरो रेटेड सप्लाई ऑफ द गुड्स. याद हो गया? एंड नीचे क्या है? एडजस्टेड टोटल टर्नओवर. ये क्या है? टर्नओवर ऑफ द जीरो रेटेड सप्लाई ऑफ द गुड्स. नाउ गो टू द नेक्स्ट पेज. They are saying turnover of the zero rated supply of the goods. They have defined. They are saying turnover of the zero rated supply of the goods means value, actual invoice value, or 1.5 times of the domestic, whichever is lower. So it can be lower, correct? So they are saying if the amount is coming as lower, so turnover of the zero rated supply of the goods will be lower. You remember my example? So what was my example? I have exported of invoice value rupees 2,50,000 and domestic का 75,000 आएगा. Then whichever is lower, so we will take 75,000 in the turnover of the zero rated supply of the goods, correct? तो हम क्या करते थे? यहां पर हम 75,000 लेते थे. But because they have not changed the definition of adjusted total turnover, then initial days, when the formula was clarified or restriction was inserted, initial days they are taking the entire 2,50,000 by which the total refund would be reduced. ये वाला पॉइंट क्लियर है ना अब्दुल एंड नम्रता? ये वाला पॉइंट, अभी मैं दूसरा पॉइंट वापस एक्सप्लेन करूंगा, ये वाला पॉइंट क्लियर है ना? तो उन्होंने बोला कि फिर सर्कुलर इश्यू करके उन्होंने कहा सीबीआईसी ने कि वट एवर द अमाउंट यू आर कैलकुलेटिंग एंड टेकिंग इन द न्यूमरेटर, सेम अमाउंट यू विल टेक इन द डिनोमिनेटर. सेम अमाउंट यू विल टेक इन द डिनोमिनेटर. तो अगर आप ऊपर 75 ले रहे हैं तो एडजस्टेड टोटल टर्नओवर में भी आप 75 ऐड करेंगे इंस्टेड ऑफ 250. एंड नाउ लेट्स से माई FOB value was 1 lakh. Export invoice include 10,000 as a freight component, 5,000 as a insurance. So total invoice value was 1,15,000. While calculating the refund amount in the formula, I will take FOB or invoice value, whichever is lower. So I will take 1 lakh rupees. But what happened? Here I will take entire 1,15,000. So what is the problem? Again, my refund would be reduced. CBIC has clarified by the circular, the same amount you will take in the denominator. Let's see the circular. Crux I have explained. Let's see the circular. So first they are saying turnover of the, it is clarified that same value of zero rated supply the goods as calculated as per the definition of turnover of zero rated supply the goods 1.5 times need to be taken into consideration while calculating the turnover in the state or UT, and accordingly in adjusted total turnover for the purpose of this rule. So हम adjusted total turnover में भी क्या लेंगे? ठीक है. Currently, we will not read the formula, ठीक है, for the timing. And one more clarification, which I will take in the, I can say, I will take up in the amendment class. So I am going to take the amendment class either in the next month, January में से. So in that particular, the second clarification I will explain at that point of time. वो यहाँ पे अभी book में नहीं है. It is being issued, but not in the study material. Probably it was updated till April or May something or October something. Not sure. अभी ये दोनों पॉइंट आपको समझ आ गया ना? तो अब हम मूव करते हैं इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर में. सो यू कैन रीड 89(4)(a) in case of the supply received on which the supplier has availed the benefit of deemed export. और ठीक है, 89(4)(b) it says that in which the supplier, 89(4)(b) says that where the person claiming the refund of unutilized ITC on account of the without payment has received the supply on which manufacturer supply has availed 0.1% wala and availed the benefit of the IGST and compensation cess in respect of the goods imported by EOU or against advance authorization or APCG license. Correct na? So 89(4)(a)(4)(b) क्या होता है? It will not be counted in net ITC. It will not be taken in the turnover of the goods. It will not be taken in the adjusted total turnover. We will exclude from every place, and the reason because it is a separate refund application. Now we are moving to the, अभी कोई confusion तो नहीं है ना? Because slightly we are in the slow speed. अच्छा एक बार चलो मुझे इतना मैं let me ask 5-10 question. Let me ask 5-10 question. मैं next 5 मिनट 5-6 क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछता हूं, मुझे थोड़ा डाउट क्लियर हो जाएगा. प्लीज क्लैरिफाई. गिव मी द आंसर. क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, आई विल आस्क सर्टेन क्वेश्चन. अंडर इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर I can take the refund of input service or capital goods. While applying the refund under inverted duty structure, I can take the refund of input or input service or capital goods or all. Can I take the refund of input only, input service? और इनपुट सर्विस प्लस कैपिटल गुड्स। इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर के रिफंड में मुझे किसका रिफंड मिलेगा? इनपुट का, इनपुट सर्विस का, कैपिटल गुड्स का, या तीनों का? नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हेन आई विल अप्लाई द रिफंड फॉर द जीरो रेटेड सप्लाई अंडर एलयूटी, देन मुझे रिफंड किस चीज का मिलेगा? इनपुट, इनपुट सर्विस और कैपिटल गुड्स, या तीनों का, या कोई कॉम्बिनेशन? एक बार आंसर करना मुझे। आंसर टू द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, सभी लोग से रिक्वेस्ट है ना, रिवीजन करके देखना चाहता हूं कि कितना अंडरस्टैंडिंग लेवल अभी हुआ आपका, हाउ मच यू आर एट विच लेवल यू आर। ठीक है, तो मुझे कीर्ति ने आंसर दिया है, गीता ने दिया है, प्रेरणा, मोहम्मद। ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट केस में तो सिर्फ इनपुट है, एंड व्हाट अबाउट द सेकंड केस? फर्स्ट केस में तो इनपुट है, राइट आंसर। एंड सेकंड केस में क्या लिखा आपने? ओके, इनपुट एंड इनपुट सर्विस। Tell me the situation. Tell me the situation where I cannot go on IGST route. Tell me the situation where I cannot go IGST route, where I cannot go for IGST route. मैं ऑन पेमेंट ऑफ आईजीएसटी जा ही नहीं सकता. आई कैन नॉट गो ऑन पेमेंट ऑफ आईजीएसटी. सिचुएशन वेर इन आई हैव टू कंपल्सरी गो अंडर एलयूटी, कैन नॉट गो फॉर ऑन आईजीएसटी. सिचुएशन compulsory LUT, I cannot go for on IGST route. एक तो राइट आंसर मिल गया कि इफ यू आर हैविंग द परचेज एट कंसेशनल टैक्स रेट लाइक डीम्ड एक्सपोर्ट, लाइक मर्चेंट एक्सपोर्टर, लाइक कस्टम नोटिफिकेशन. ठीक है, सो आई हैव टू गो अंडर कंपल्सरी अंडर एलयूटी रूट. एक्सपोर्ट में ऑलवेज एलयूटी? नो, नॉट करेक्ट सेंटेंस. एक्सपोर्ट की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. यू हैव द ऑप्शन टू गो अंडर एलयूटी, यू हैव द ऑप्शन टू गो अंडर आईजीएसटी. What is the 1.5 times का restriction? What is the restriction of 1.5 times? What is the restriction of 1.5 times? Can you elaborate in your own language? क्या आप मुझे बता सकते हैं कि 1.5 टाइम्स का restriction क्या है? What is 1.5 times restrictions? In your own language, kindly explain, and requesting everyone to give the to participate. अभी मुझे कम लोग participate कर रहे हैं, but my humble request, everyone should participate. Correct. It is saying that your export value would be limited to 1.5 times of the domestic price. ठीक है, 1.5 times of the domestic price. There is similar type of the restriction on the value. There is similar type of the restriction on the value in the refund. There is a similar type of the restriction in the refund. There is a similar type of the restriction on the value of the export. सिमिलर टाइप ऑफ द रेस्ट्रिक्शन एक जगह और था, कुछ सिमिलर मिलता जुलता रेस्ट्रिक्शन एक और था. व्हाट वाज दैट रेस्ट्रिक्शन? कीर्ति नहीं, इन्वर्ट नहीं, सॉरी. ओ कीर्ति, गिव मी 1 minute, I will explain, give me 1 minute. So fine. So correct. What was the next restriction? Next restriction was FOB and CIF. FOB and invoice value, whichever is lower, you will take. So because of this restriction, numerator and denominator would be same, or we will just do the revision in the numerator and denominator we will keep the same. We will take the lower value in the numerator and denominator we will keep the same. Whether same value would be taken in the adjusted total turnover or only upper value would be reduced and not the lower amount. Can I file LUT for deemed export and make the supply without payment of IGST? Can I file the LUT for the deemed export? Kirti, आपके लिए, listen carefully. You will receive the answer in this particular page. Can I make the deemed export का supply on LUT by which I can make the deemed export without payment of tax? Can I supply the deemed export का transaction? Can I do the deemed export का transaction on LUT? गीता, आंसर वुड बी सेम. लास्ट क्वेश्चन, दोनों में इस वैल्यू सेम रहेगी, इट इज नॉट चेंज. आंसर वुड बी सेम, वैल्यू सेम रहेगी, सेम इन बोथ. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, दैट कैन आई डू द डीम्ड एक्सपोर्ट का सप्लाई ऑन LUT? नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, कैन आई डू द inverted duty structure का supply? Can I do the inverted duty structure supply under LUT? Answer is no. The LUT route is available only for zero rated supply. And Kirti, what is the zero rated supply? I can say the export, it can be goods or services, and supply to the SEZ unit, it can be goods or services. Only these 4 transactions can be under LUT or can be under IGST, on payment of IGST. But rest all transaction will be always on payment of GST. There is no supply which you can make without payment of GST. Zero rated supply में LUT का route available है. तो deemed export is not the zero rated supply. Merchant export is not the zero rated supply. Inverted duty structure is not the zero rated supply. So you have to go on IGST only. Is it clear? Is it clear? Most of the participants have given the incorrect answer. Most of the participants not correct answer. So I'm asking everyone, is it clear? This concept LUT ka route is clear to all? Rule 96 capital A says zero rated supplies can be without payment of tax. Can be without payment of tax under LUT. Is it clear? Please confirm. मोहम्मद कहां चले गए आप? आंसर नहीं आ रहा. So let's take a break of 15 मिनट 7:35 तक ब्रेक ले लीजिए. We will resume at 7:35 and we will start the refund formula, refund of ITC in case of the inverted duty structure. We will start from here. Refund of ITC as per the inverted duty structures. ठीक है. So अशोक जी ब्रेक स्टार्ट कर दीजिए 15 मिनट का. We were talking about refund of inverted duty structures. Okay. We have discussed that in case of the inverted duty structure, the refund admissible is only input, not input service, not capital goods. The formula is slightly bigger formula. Turnover of inverted rated supply of the goods and services multiplied by net ITC divided by the total turnover. This is exactly same which we have discussed in the refund for zero rated supply. We have discussed zero rated supply of the goods plus services divided by adjusted total turnover multiplied by net ITC. This we have discussed same. So almost it is same. The difference is it has some reduction. Why reduction? Inverted duty structure means the tax rate on the outward supply is lower. It means there is some tax rate. Only point it is lower. But tax rate to hai na. G. So by this they are calculating the proportionate ITC to the inverted rated sale. So the ITC which pertain to the inverted duty supply. Now, in case of the export, because if we are doing the export or SEZ on LUT, I am not required to pay any tax. I am not required to pay any tax, so the entire amount is refunded. So they are only calculating the proportionate. But here, there is some tax liability. So they are saying tax payable on such inverted rated supply of the goods and services. Now, यहाँ तक क्लियर है क्या? पहले ये बताओ. एंड इसकी बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टडी है. It is very interesting that I will discuss with the help of one judgment why this is being multiplied. So पहले मुझे यहां तक बताइए. Till this part is clear. Till this part is clear. पहले फॉर्मूला इतना ही था. Earlier the formula was this one. See, when the formula was this one, then the problem which has been noticed by the Supreme Court, they are saying there is some anomaly in the formula. Kindly rectify the formula of inverted duty. What was the anomaly? Try to understand. By 89 subrule 5, they are saying that refund would be admissible only for input component. No problem. इनपुट सर्विस का रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा, कैपिटल गुड्स का रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा, कोई इश्यू नहीं है, नो प्रॉब्लम. बट आर यू restricting the liability through input only? See, Kirti, okay, no problem. I will explain. So they are saying, what is the sale of that, suppose any product, multiplied by net ITC divided by the total turnover. By this, what happened? The proportionate ITC which pertain to my inverted rated supply. Let's say my sale of AMC is 1 lakh rupees, which is under inverted duty. And my total sale is, let's say, 4 lakh rupees. Okay. And total ITC is, let's say, 80,000. Check. Total ITC is 80,000. I have taken the sale of my AMC is rupees 1 lakh. Total tax turnover is 4 lakh rupees and my ITC is 80,000. So I can say that 20,000 is the ITC pertain to the outward supply of inverted duty structure. I can say Now they are saying minus tax payable. What is the tax payable? I have assumed the rate of 18%. So the tax payable is 18,000. Correct? They are saying we will give the refund if 2,000. Kitty clear na? Yahan tak clear hai na? Once again confirm. Everyone. Requesting everyone to confirm. Mohammed, Prerna, Geeta and everyone. Namrata, your reply is not coming. And I don't know. Viraz, Mansa, I don't know. Why you are not replying? हुआ क्या इसमें? यहां पर 18,000 जब पूरा माइनस किया ना, तो प्रॉब्लम क्या है? द प्रॉब्लम इज द रेस्ट्रिक्शन इज ओनली फॉर गिविंग द रिफंड ऑफ इनपुट. रेस्ट्रिक्शन कहां पर थी कि मैं इनपुट का रिफंड दूंगा? रेस्ट्रिक्शन कहां थी? मैं इनपुट का रिफंड दूंगा. दैट इज द रेस्ट्रिक्शन ना. क्या ये रेस्ट्रिक्शन थी कि जो लाइबिलिटी है वो लाइबिलिटी आप सिर्फ इनपुट से यूज करोगे? द लाइबिलिटी, कितनी लाइबिलिटी? 18,000. क्या कर रहे हैं आप? व्हाट आर यू डूइंग बाय दिस फॉर्मूला? यू आर रिड्यूसिंग एंटायर 18,000 फ्रॉम आईटीसी ऑफ इनपुट ओनली. क्या ये कहीं रेस्ट्रिक्शन है? नहीं. You are using the liability through input only, which is nowhere restricted. Therefore, they are saying, अब आपको पूरा 18,000 नहीं करना. 1 lakh divided by 4 lakh multiplied by 80,000. तो इससे क्या आया? 20,000 आया. Now they are saying you will not reduce 18,000. You will reduce 18,000 multiplied by net ITC, that is 80, and say that उस महीने आपकी इनपुट सर्विस भी थी. लेट्स से इट वाज 1 lakh. Let's say it is total 1 lakh. Let's say we are doing that transaction and we are applying the refund for the month of April 2023. In this April 23, I have claimed the ITC of input 80,000, ITC of input service 20,000. My total ITC is 1 lakh. So they are saying earlier we were reducing entire 18,000, but as per the instruction of the Supreme Court, the formula was revised कि liability पूरा 18 मत करो, liability को इस रेशियो में डिवाइड कर दो. What they are saying, multiplied by 80 divided by 1 lakh. Multiplied by 80 divided by 1 lakh. तो लग कितना? 18,772 और 4 इंटू 8 14,400, 14,400 समथिंग ऐसा कुछ आएगा फिगर. Now you see, by revision in this formula, the refund amount which earlier was 2,000 now increased to this much of amount. Is it clear? बहुत बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चेंज था. इज इट क्लियर और नॉट? एक बार कंफर्म करना मेरे को. मैं रिपीट कर दूंगा. आई डू नॉट हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम, बट दिस शुड बी कॉन्सेप्चुअली क्लियर. अदरवाइज आप ना कभी समझ नहीं पाएंगे. यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इन ऑल एंगल. The first part of the formula is output. Input na? See, okay, got it. See, what we are calculating? We are calculating the refund. Refund किस चीज का? What is the refund? Refund of ITC. Refund of ITC. So in the first part, we are calculating the ITC proportionate to the inverted sale. We are calculating the ITC in proportionate to the inverted sale. So हमने इस पार्ट से क्या किया? ITC in proportion to the inverted duty sale. तो यहां से हमारा ITC निकला, नॉट आउटपुट सप्लाई. यहां से हमारा ITC निकला. कौन सा ITC? ITC ऑफ और ITC linked to the inverted sale. So what is 1 lakh? I have assumed that I am making the refund application of April 2023. In the April 2023, I have the ITC of 80,000 I have the ITC of 80,000 from input and I have the ITC of input service. मैं change कर रहा हूं figure. Now I am changing the figure. कर लेंगे, प्रेरणा कल कर लेंगे, नेक्स्ट क्लास में कर लेंगे, डेफिनेटली कर लेंगे. इनपुट सर्विस लेट्स से 15,000. आई एम चेंजिंग द फिगर बिकॉज वो 1 लाख सेम हो गया. तो टोटल कितना हुआ? 95,000. टोटल ITC 95,000. एंड इन द सेल्स आई हैव द सेल्स ऑफ इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी is rupees 1 lakh and other sales is 3 lakhs. So my total turnover is 4 lakh. तो मैंने सबसे पहले क्या किया? टर्नओवर ऑफ द इन्वर्टेड डेटेड सप्लाई द गुड्स. व्हाट इज दैट? 1 लाख. एडजस्टेड टोटल टर्नओवर 4 लाख. कितना? नेट ITC. नेट ITC मींस ITC ऑफ इनपुट ओनली. सो 80,000. नाउ माइनस, कितना माइनस करना है? अर्लियर आई वाज 1 लाख का सेल था और टैक्स का रेट 18% था, तो आई वाज रिड्यूसिंग एंटायर 18,000. बट नाउ आई एम डूइंग multiplied by 80,000 divided by 95,000. See, earlier I was reducing only this much of the amount, so refund आता था 2,000 रुपए. ठीक है. But now I am reducing the liability. I am reducing the liability. So अब जो माइनस का फिगर करना है, पहले ज्यादा फिगर माइनस होता था, अब कम होगा. क्यों? You are dividing, you are proportionating in the ratio of input and input service. Is that clear? एक बार कंफर्म करना. Let's read the question. Suppose the manufacturing process involve the use of input A attracting 5%, input B attracting 18% to the output of 12%. Is it under inverted duty? Is it under C? Material A is 5%, material B is 18. What is the tax rate? 12%. So इसका tax rate तो lower है, बट ये इनपुट बी, इसका टैक्स रेट हायर है. देन विल इट बी अंडर इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी और नॉट? छोटे छोटे क्वेश्चन है. विल डू द क्वेश्चन. इज इट अंडर इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी? Answer is yes, it is under inverted duty. And please note one thing, it has been clarified by the circular. ITC आप दोनों प्रोडक्ट का लेंगे. When you are using the net ITC in the formula, you will not select according to the product, according to the category wise. No, जितना भी इनपुट है उसका इकट्ठा सारा इनपुट का ITC ले लीजिए in the formula. Suppose the claimant supplies the output Y having the value of 3,000 during the relevant period for which the refund is being claimed. Therefore, the turnover of inverted rated supply will be 3,000 because product Y का sale 3,000 है. Since the claimant has no other outward supply, उसका total turnover भी 3,000 होगा. It means if he is making the sale of a single product, then I can say this turnover of inverted dated supply of the goods would also be 3,000 and divided would also be 3,000. ठीक है. Now multiplied by net ITC. एक बार नीचे जाते हैं. If we assume that input A is 500 rupees and input B is 2,000. Now you see that it was 5%, but it was 18%. And what was the tax? 12%. So if you see that actually inversion to input B का ही है. If you see the actual inversion is input B, but as clarified by the circular 125, we will take the entire input ऑफ, वी विल टेक द एंटायर आईटीसी ऑफ इनपुट. सो कितना हुआ, 500 इसका, 2000 इसका. सो 2500 इज द आईटीसी. सॉरी, 500 के ऊपर रेट क्या था, 5%, और इसके ऊपर था 18%. सो 25 इसका आ गया एंड 360 इसका आ गया, तो टोटल आईटीसी 385. नाउ you will apply the formula 385 multiplied by 3000 divided by 3000, correct? And then minus कितना था सेल, 3000 का सेल. क्या रेट था उसका, व्हाट वाज द रेट, 12%, multiplied by same 385 because there is no input service. कुछ क्लियर हुआ कॉन्सेप्ट, इज दैट क्लियर? लेट मी सी सम एग्जांपल इफ देयर इज सम मोर एग्जांपल. नहीं, हम लोग सॉल्व करेंगे अगर टाइम परमिट करेगा, बिकॉज रिफंड चैप्टर इज वेरी लॉन्ग, वेरी लॉन्ग. इफ टाइम परमिट देन आई विल टेक. आई एम ट्राइंग टू लुक द स्मॉल एग्जांपल बट इट इज नॉट देयर. See, now there was one issue. You try to understand these two terms. Same point of time versus different point of time. In case of the inverted duty, there is a one big issue with, or one big doubt which has been clarified. Different point of time versus same point of time. What was the issue? They are saying, if you purchase the product at 18%, product A, you have purchased the product at 18%, but subsequently the tax rate has been reduced and you are making the sale of the product A is at 12%. Are you making the same product or are you making the different product? Are you making the supply of the same product or are you making the supply of the different product? Answer is same product. Now give me the answer. You all will give the answer. क्या tax rate was different at different point of time या tax rate was different at same point of time? इसका आंसर दीजिए. You will love this discussion because इसके रिगार्ड में एक सर्कुलर आया था. A is purchasing the goods. Mr. Ravi is purchasing the goods A at 18%. He is supplying the goods subsequently at 12%. Now there is accumulated ITC of 6%. क्या ये जो सेल है, is it the tax rate is different at different point of time or same point of time? टैक्स रेट क्या डिफरेंट है, वो डिफरेंट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम में है या सेम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम में? आंसर इज different point of time na. Answer is different point of time. So it has been clarified, अगर टैक्स रेट डिफरेंट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पर डिफरेंट है, अगर टैक्स रेट डिफरेंट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पर डिफरेंट है बट सेम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पर सेम है, you will not be covered under inverted duty. You will not be covered under inverted duty. If it is different at different point of time, then you are not covered under inverted duty. Trading is not permitted under inverted duty structure का refund. They are saying you purchase the product and make the product and having the different tax rate at same point of time. Different tax rate at the same point of time. यहां पर क्या था, डिफरेंट टैक्स रेट एट डिफरेंट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. इसका मतलब क्या कर रहा है, ये परचेज कभी और कर रहा है और सेल बाद में कर रहा है और उसमें उसका टैक्स रेट रिड्यूस हो गया सेल पर. It means if the tax rate has been reduced, no refund of ITC because of inversion. Let's read. For example, an applicant trading in the goods has purchased the goods X attracting 18. However, subsequently the rate of the GST on X has been reduced. It has been clarified that in such case, input and output being the same, though attracting different tax rate at different point of time, does not get covered under inverted duty. Now, there is one more example. You remember merchant export we have discussed? Merchant export. Let's say A is doing the manufacturing or whatever, that's same. A ka input is 18, but A is making the supply to B and B is actually making the supply to UK. A is purchasing at 18%. Uska ITC 18% ka hai, goods ka. When he is making the sale to B, he is charging at 0.1%. He is charging 0.1%. Now the question is, इसमें refund मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा? Will he get the refund or not? Circular clarified, अगर कोई concessional rate notification के कारण, if you are charging the lower rate because of any concessional notification, you are charging lower rate, you are entitled to take the refund of inverted duty. In such, there are, however, the case input and output goods are same, but the output are made under concessional notification due to which the rate of the tax on output is lower. Then, in such case, as the rate of the taxes is lesser on sale, the rate of the tax on input at the same point of time पर different है. ठीक है, तो इन्होंने कहा कि क्रेडिट एक्यूमुलेट विल बी एडमिसिबल फॉर रिफंड. दोनों पॉइंट क्लियर है. नॉर्मली ट्रेडिंग not covered under inverted duty, but if you are charging lower rate because of any concessional rate notification, you are entitled for refund. Is this both point are clear to all? Both point are clear to all? Right, Kirti is the one of the perfect example for this inverted duty, right? Perfect. There are various rate notification. The benefit has been given to the, if you are supplying the research equipment to the IITs, then the rate was reduced. Government has reduced initially कि आप 5% charge करोगे. Then in that case, if I am making the supply to the IITs by charging the 5%, my tax rate is actually 18. Then I can take the refund under inverted duty. No problem. Again, they have clarified stores related expenditure, stores, spares, which has been charged to the profit and loss account. It cannot be held to the capital goods and refund would be entitled. They have clarified by way of circular. A refund of ITC under 54.3 is restricted to the extent of the invoice detail are reflected in GSTR 2A. We all know that GSTR 2A 2B ka concept, ITC should be available in the 2A 2B. Therefore, they are saying that whatever the refund you are taking under 54.3, refund of ITC, whether it is zero rated supplies or whether it is zero rated supply or it is inverted duty, जितना भी आप ITC लेते हैं, that ITC should be in the GSTR 2A. ठीक है, मैं ज्यादा डिटेल तो उसका पढ़ने का रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. करेक्ट. Determination of the refundable amount in case of the refund of unutilized. So we have completed till page 43. Let's move to up. अच्छा, ठीक है. Let's complete this. Sorry, I'm not giving up. I'm going to read this. When you are calculating the refund, okay, because we have talked about any refund of accumulated ITC. So the amount of the refund would be lower of 3. See, you are calculating the refund as per the formula. This is the refund of accumulated ITC. Correct. Let's say refund in this case comes to, let's say, 2,000, 5,000. But your electronic credit ledger ka balance is only 1,000. Understand? See, as per the formula, amount comes to 5,000. So you are entitled to take 5,000. Yes. But the balance in the credit ledger, the refund was for April 2023. Okay. And the balance was 1,000 only. Would you be entitled to take the refund of 5,000? Answer is no. Because I might have used the input tax credit for discharge of the liability. See, ITC को मैं use तो कर ही सकता हूं ना. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि ITC to the extent of zero rated always you have to take the refund. No, ऐसा नहीं है ना. I can use for discharging the tax liability or I can take the refund. My choice. तो point क्या है? The point is, as per the formula, amount comes 5,000. But if there is a lower balance in electronic credit ledger, ये भी आपको 2 तारीख का चेक करना है. Like amount lying in the electronic credit, Namrata, it will be 2B. From after that, it will be 2B. So when I will again cover the amendment class, when I will cover the amendment class, it will be 2B. So this is a recent amendment. Instead of 2A, they are saying 2B, but that will be covered later on. So we will cover in the amendment chapter. Okay, abhi 2A, for the timing you treat 2A, but point is correct because 2B was inserted in the law from 1/1/2022. So the ITC should also be as per 2B, not as per 2A. Namrata, okay? Clear? Circular 125 was amended, 135 was amended in the initial recently. So 2A ko 2B kar diya, so we will discuss in the amendment class. My point is, the ITC का refund as per the formula comes to 5,000. ये 5,000 इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्रेडिट लेजर में जब आप रिफंड एप्लीकेशन फाइल करें कितना बैलेंस है एंड कितना बैलेंस था ये जिस मंथ का आईटीसी, जिस मंथ का रिफंड. आई हैव गिवन द एग्जांपल, दिस रिफंड इज ऑफ अप्रैल 2023. करेक्ट ना? तो ITC at the end of April 2023, ITC balance of ITC in the electronic credit ledger at the end of 2nd December 2023, because I am making the 2-day refund application and refund as per the formula, whichever is lower, that will be the refund amount. That will be the refund amount. क्योंकि whichever is lower वही refund मिलेगा ना. मतलब था तो मुझे refund entitlement 5,000 का था, but I have used. तो अगेन ये डबल हो गया ना बेनिफिट कि मुझे रिफंड भी मिल गया और मैंने यूज भी कर लिया. सो दे आर नॉट सेम. नाउ आफ्टर कैलकुलेटिंग द लिस्ट ऑफ द अबाउट 3 अमाउंट, नाउ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. सो द अमाउंट कम्स लेट्स से 700. सो व्हेन यू आर अप्लाइंग द रिफंड, द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्रेडिट लेजर शुड बी डेबिटेड. एक बात बताओ ना, अगर आपको 700 रुपए का रिफंड एप्लीकेशन, यू आर फाइलिंग द रिफंड एप्लीकेशन ऑफ 700. You are filing the refund application of which category? You are filing the refund application of inverted duty structure or zero rated supply. Basically, I can say you are taking the refund of accumulated ITC. Now, when you file the refund application, this 700 should be debited. The debit, they have given the order. ये debit जो 700 करना है, किस order में करना है? First, you will debit to the IGST. Entire amount to the IGST to the extent it is available. Let's say you have the balance of 400 in the IGST. तो 400 रुपए आप डेबिट कर देंगे IGST को. Why you are debiting? You are reducing your balance so that you not use for discharging the tax liability. Logically correct है ना? Is it correct, right? Na? So you are reducing the electronic credit ledger so that this amount you should not use somewhere else. because government will give the refund of this 700 rupees. So they are saying the 700 debit kar do. Debit kaise karna hai? They have given the order. What is the order? To the extent of IGST balance, you will debit that amount. Balance rupees 300. CGST and SGST equally to the extent of balance available. Let's say 150 150 C में 150 S में अगर बैलेंस है तो, if not shortfall हो गया तो से CGST में shortfall हो गया तो differential I will debit from other. C में short हो गया तो I will debit to the S और S में short हो गया तो I will debit to C. ठीक है ना? हाँ, important है. This point is saying where you are not entitled to take the refund of accumulated ITC. पहला है अगर आपका गुड सब्जेक्ट टू द एक्सपोर्ट ड्यूटी है देन यू आर नॉट एंटाइटल्ड टू टेक द रिफंड. Refund of unutilized ITC shall not be allowed if the goods exported out of India are subject to export duty. The term subject to export duty means it should be actually liable to export duty and suffering export duty at the time of export. Export duty means when you are exporting, government are putting some duties. So certain product government does not want that it should be exported out of India. तो क्या करते हैं? See, let's say they do not want the export of this rice. Let's say I'm giving hypothetical example. Government does not want the export of rice. Let's say what they will do, they will impose the export duty by which it will increase the value, and also they will block the refund of ITC. They will block the refund of ITC. तो होगा क्या? I would be less incentivized by doing the export of rice. एक तो मेरा रेट इंक्रीज कर दिया और दूसरा मेरे को रिफंड मना कर दिया. ऐसा क्यों किया? क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट नहीं चाहती कि मैं इसका एक्सपोर्ट करूं. क्लियर है ना कि एक्सपोर्ट ड्यूटी को क्यों मना किया गया? आई होप इट इज क्लियर. ठीक है. देन वन कॉन्सेप्ट इज ड्रॉबैक. Refund of ITC shall not be allowed if the supplier avail the drawback in respect of CGST or claim the, see पहला यहां तक पढ़िए, if he has taken the drawback in respect of CGST, अगर वो ड्रॉबैक ले रहा है तो उसको रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा. सीधा सा बात है, डबल बेनिफिट नहीं मिलेगा. याद रखना, it is clarified that if the supplier avail the drawback in respect of central and excise duty drawback, he shall be eligible for refund of the ITC under CGST, SGST, IGST, UTGST. रिफंड ड्रॉबैक किसका नहीं लिया? CGST का अगर लेता है ड्रॉबैक, then it is prohibited to take the refund. But if he is taking the drawback, availing the drawback in respect of excise, तब तो रिफंड आराम से क्लेम कर सकता है, नो प्रॉब्लम. अब यहां पर इसने क्या लिखा है? यहां पर एक पॉइंट लिखा है जिसको मैं एग्जांपल के थ्रू एक्सप्लेन करता हूं. मिस्टर ए इज एक्सपोर्टर. He is purchasing the goods at 18%. When he is exporting on IGST. He is purchasing product A, he is purchasing product B, let's say 12%, and he is making the product C, and C is taxable at the rate of 5%. In terms of amount, let's say कि ये 18,000 का ITC था और ये 12,000 का ITC था, टोटल 30,000 का ITC, and he has exported 5. तो let's say कि 2 लाख का वैल्यू था, तो 10,000 is the tax liability. Question number 1. Can he use the ITC for discharging the tax liability of 10,000? थोड़ा क्वेश्चन का आंसर कीजिएगा, because then only you will be able to understand the word, the small word, but it is very deeper insight. would he be able to use the ITC toward the discharge of tax liability of 10,000? Yes. Export of goods on IGST, is it automatic route or he has to file the refund application? Is it automatic route or he has to file the refund application? RF डिफरेंट फाइल करना पड़ेगा या ऑटोमेटिक रूट है? Whether he need to file the refund application or it is automatic route. Automatic, because it is export of the goods on IGST. No refund application, right now. Question number 3, how much refund would be credited, 10,000 or 30,000? जब ये ऑटोमेटिक रिफंड आएगा तो 10,000 आएगा कि 30,000 आएगा? He has exported the goods, value of the export is 2 lakh, tax liability is 10,000. This 10,000 he has used out of the ITC available. Now this route is automatic. Please tell me कितना रिफंड आएगा? नम्रता, आपने वो मेरे से एक पॉइंट पूछा था ना कि पहला पॉइंट क्लियर नहीं हुआ. सो दैट इज द क्वेश्चन, दैट वाज द क्वेश्चन कि एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ गुड्स ऑन आईजीएसटी इट इज ऑटोमेटिक रूट, क्योंकि आईस्केट और जीएसटीआर 1 3B का डेटा मैच होते ही मेरे अकाउंट में रिफंड आ जाता है. कितना रिफंड मिलेगा, 10 की 30? यहाँ पे रिफंड का कंपोनेंट कितना होगा, 10 की 30? द आंसर इज 10,000 सर. ऑब्वियसली 10,000, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. थैंक यू. He will get the refund of 10,000. Now tell me, after the refund of 10,000, क्या अभी भी उसके पास ITC accumulated है? Whether he has still balance of accumulated ITC? Whether he has still the balance available in the ITC ledger? Whether he has still the balance in the ITC ledger? He has no stock. Everything has been used. क्या उसके पास अभी भी accumulated ITC है? Answer is yes, to the extent of 20,000. Can he apply the refund of 20,000 because of inverted duty? Can he apply the refund of 20,000 because of the inverted duty? The answer would be no. Why no? See the reasoning. See the reasoning. Refund of ITC shall not be allowed if the supplier has claimed the refund of IGST on such supply. A has claimed the refund of the IGST on this supply. He has claimed the refund of IGST on such supply 10,000. तो इस सप्लाई के ऊपर इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी के केस में या किसी भी आईटीसी का रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा इस केस में. इज दैट क्लियर? क्लियर है ये वाला पॉइंट? इज इट क्लियर कि इस केस में उसे रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा आईटीसी का, क्योंकि वो ऑलरेडी रिफंड क्लेम कर चुका आईजीएसटी का. व्हाट इज द एडवाइस? आप क्या एडवाइस करेंगे इस केस में? क्या एडवाइस करेंगे आप इस केस में? व्हाट यू विल एडवाइस टू योर क्लाइंट? व्हाट इज योर एडवाइस टू योर क्लाइंट इन दिस केस? व्हाट इज योर एडवाइस टू योर क्लाइंट इन दिस केस? क्या एडवाइस करोगे? You should advise that please do not use on IGST route. Please do not use IGST route. You should go for LUT route. LUT में क्या होगा? जितना भी ITC accumulated है, entire 30,000 would be refunded. मोहम्मद क्लियर है? नम्रता क्लियर है? कीर्ति? In this case, because there is a restriction, there is an inversion, and if we go for IGST route, only the tax paid would be refunded. Still, he has the balance. So, in this case, you will suggest your client go for LUT route, not for IGST route. Agreed? Is it clear? No, correct. Na? So my starting question, remember recall my starting question. Which route is advisable? On IGST or without IGST? You cannot give the answer because there is no fixed parameter. It is different from the different point of view. Different fact, depending upon the fact. Suppose like in this case, I will suggest my client go for LUT route, not go for IGST route because you have the loss. अगर किसी के पास कैपिटल गुड्स का आईटीसी ज्यादा है, कैपिटल गुड्स का अगर आईटीसी ज्यादा है, व्हाट यू विल सजेस्ट? यू विल से गो टू द आईजीएसटी रूट. व्हेन वी कैन सजेस्ट आईजीएसटी रूट? अगर कैपिटल गुड्स का रिफंड, अगर कैपिटल गुड्स है तो आप सजेस्ट कर सकते हैं. अगर उसका सेलिंग प्राइस काफी ज्यादा है कंपेयर टू द डोमेस्टिक, आई विल सजेस्ट आईजीएसटी रूट बिकॉज 1.5 टाइम का लिमिट एप्लीकेबल नहीं होगा. If there is a difference in FOB and CIF, I will suggest IGST route. If he is supplying the goods and he wants the refund immediately, instead of going through big problem application, I will suggest IGST route. कीर्ति, इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी को मैंने मिक्स कर दिया एक्सपोर्ट के साथ. Inverted duty is a concept. It can be domestic, it can be overseas sale also. एक कॉन्सेप्ट है जहां पे आउटपुट ज्यादा और इनपुट कम है. ये तो सेल कहीं भी हो सकती है ना, डोमेस्टिक भी हो सकती है, ओवरसीज भी हो सकती है. सो इन्वर्जन इज ए कॉन्सेप्ट, बट एक्सपोर्ट इज ए डिफरेंट सेल आउट ऑफ इंडिया फॉर विच रिफंड इज अवेलेबल. तो मैंने दोनों को मिक्स करके एक एग्जांपल बना दिया सो दैट आई कैन एक्सप्लेन दैट पॉइंट कि आईजीएसटी अगर आपने रिफंड ले लिया, यू कैन नॉट गो फॉर द रिफंड ऑफ आईटीसी. दैट इज द पॉइंट आई लाइक टू एक्सप्लेन. Namrata, is it okay? And Kirti, kindly confirm. Confirm, please. Now we'll move further. Minimum refund claim. मिनिमम रिफंड क्लेम लेस देन 1000 है तो रिफंड नहीं दिया जाएगा. इफ इट इज लेस देन 1000 देन इट विल नॉट बी रिफंडेड, इट विल बी क्लब्ड इन द सब्सिक्वेंट. 1000 shall apply for each head separately, not cumulatively. ठीक है. Further, this limit would not apply in case the refund of excess balance in cash ledger is available. ठीक है. Now we are talking about refund in case of the goods exported out of India. So currently we were talking about the refund of ITC. Now we are talking about the refund of taxes paid. Some part we have already discussed. Okay. So if you are exporting, then Rule 96 says that whatever the export you have made, then you can take the refund. If it is export of the goods, then it is an automatic route. Shipping bill would itself be considered as a refund application. No separate refund application is required to be submitted. Such application shall be deemed to be furnished only when the person in charge of the conveyance carrying the goods duly filed the departure manifest or export manifest or export report covering the number and date of shipping bill. Applicant has furnished the valid return in the GSTR 3B. तो मैंने क्या कहा, दो डेटा फाइल होगा. Such application shall be deemed to have been filed कब, जब पर्सन इंचार्ज जो कि कन्वेंस, मान लो जहाज है, इट्स ए वेसल, तो ऑनर ऑफ द वेसल व्हेन ही फाइल द export document, departure manifest, export manifest or export report covering the number and date of shipping bills, bill of export, then applicant has furnished the GSTR 3B. If there is any mismatch between the data by the exporter of the goods in the shipping bill and those furnished in the R1, then such application for the refund shall be deemed to have been filed on such date when such mismatch in respect of the said shipping bill is rectified by the exporter. तो जब भी rectification कर लेगा, see Namrata, these are the custom document. When you are exporting the goods, you need to prepare certain document, shipping bill, bill of export, that some document you need to prepare, some document custom will provide, and some document your shipping line company has to provide. So these are the name of the document. Departure manifest having the detail of the movement of the goods, shipping bill, etc., that they have the details. So that departure manifest has to be furnished in the custom portal by that shipping line company. So once they will file, and once they will file and we will file 3B, if matched, automatic refund. Then applicant is undergo Aadhaar authentication. So clear है ना नम्रता? The point is 3B, डिपार्चर मैनिफेस्ट एंड आधार ऑथेंटिकेशन. ठीक है. और अगर डेटा 1 एंड शिपिंग बिल में मिसमैच है तो कब माना जाएगा कि मैंने रिफंड एप्लीकेशन फाइल कर दी? द डेट व्हेन आई हैव रेक्टिफाइड द सेम. GST portal share the details of relevant export invoice in respect of the export of the goods contained in GSTR1 with the ICE gate. तो GSTR1 में जो डेटा आपने फीड किया that will goes to the ICE gate custom website. The said system shall electronically transmit to the common portal a confirmation that the goods covered by the said invoice have been exported out of India. तो एक मैसेज है by which this automatic route works. Processing of refund claim upon the receipt of the confirmation regarding the furnish of the valid return from the common portal, ICE system designated by the customs shall process the claim of the refund in respect of the export of the goods. ठीक है. Amount equal to the IGST paid in respect of each shipping bill or bill of export shall be electronically credited to the bank account of the applicant mentioned in the registration particular, intimate to the custom authority. ठीक है. Withholding of the refund, rule 96(4). कब withhold means when the department will not issue the refund. It says that if request has been received from other commissioner, goods, if the proper officer of the custom determine that violation of the provision of the custom has been exported, but in the violation of the custom, refund withhold हो सकता है. Commissioner, a concept of the risky parameter, risky exporter. There is one concept of risky exporter. In layman term, we are using that term, risky exporter. So the commissioner, on the basis of the data analysis and the risk parameter, is of the opinion that verification of credential of exporter, including the availment of the ITC by the exporter, is considered essential before granting of the refund in order to safeguard the interest of the revenue. तो रिस्की एक्सपोर्टर के केस में क्या करते हैं? फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन होता है by the department and then the refund is being processed. Where refund is withheld in accordance with the provision of clause A or clause C, such claim shall be transmitted to the proper officer of CSUT GST as the case may be electronically through the common portal in a system generated RFD01, and the intimation of such transmission shall also be sent to the exporter electronically through the common portal, and notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in any other rule, the system generated form shall be deemed to be the application for refund in case and shall be deemed to have been filed on the date on such transmission. जिस दिन डेटा जाता है ट्रांसमिट होता है, that date will be the date of refund application. So next let's read. Sorry, let me repeat. मैं एक बार वापस रीड करता हूँ ये वाला. अगर रिफंड विदहेल्ड किया है इन अकॉर्डेंस विद द प्रोविजन ऑफ क्लॉज ए एंड द क्लॉज सी. क्या है क्लॉज ए एंड क्या है क्लॉज सी? लेट्स सी. क्लॉज ए बात कहता है कि रिक्वेस्ट फ्रॉम द अदर कमिश्नर. क्लॉज सी कहता है बेस्ड ऑन द डेटा एनालिसिस एंड रिस्क पैरामीटर. क्लॉज बी कहता है कस्टम का वायलेशन. ए और सी के कारण अगर रिफंड विदहेल्ड किया है देन सच क्लेम shall be transmitted to the officer of electronically through the common portal in a system generated RFD1, and the intimation of such transmission shall also be sent to the exporter, and notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in any other rule, the said system generated form shall be deemed to be the application in such case and shall be deemed to have been filed on the date of such transmission. ठीक है. Where refund is withheld in accordance with the provision of non-compliance of the custom, and the proper officer of the custom pass an order that the goods have been exported in violation, then such claim shall be transmitted to the proper officer through the common portal in a system generated RFD1, and the intimation of the transmission shall also be sent to the exporter, and notwithstanding anything contrary, the said system generated form shall be deemed to be the application for the refund in such case and shall be deemed to have been filed on the date of the such transmission. The application for refund in form, so वो ट्रांसमिशन हो जाएगा और वो जो रिफंड का अमाउंट है विदहेल्ड कर लेगा. मतलब विदहोल्ड मतलब डिपार्टमेंट अपने पास रखेगा. इट इज नॉट क्रेडिटेड टू द टैक्स पेयर. सो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट विदहोल्डिंग ऑफ द रिफंड. सो वो ट्रांसमिशन जैसे होगा, ऑर्डर ट्रांसमिशन जैसे होगा, तो इट मींस द रिफंड हैज बीन इनिशिएटेड बट वो अमाउंट रिलीज नहीं होगा. दैट अमाउंट विल बी केप्ट बाय द डिपार्टमेंट. The application for the refund transmitted electronically through the common portal shall be dealt in accordance with the provision of Rule 89. So जो हमने ऊपर डिस्कस कर लिया. Government to the Nepal or Bhutan, and they are saying the central government may pay the refund of I to the government of Bhutan on the export to Bhutan for such class of the goods as may be notified. Where such refund is paid to the Bhutan government, exporter shall not be paid any refund of IGST. Again, गवर्नमेंट दो बार तो एक ट्रांजेक्शन के ऊपर रिफंड नहीं देगी, राइट? तो अगर भूटान गवर्नमेंट को दिया है तो फिर उसके उनको जो एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा है उनको रिफंड नहीं मिलेगा. ये लॉजिकली करे. हाँ, दैट यू रिमेंबर सर्कुलर 108 इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. सो you remember that activity of sending goods out of India is not a zero rated supply. We have read in circular 108. ठीक है. The sender of the goods cannot refund claim with respect to goods sent or taken out of India. Now further the supply would be deemed to have been taken place. जब वो डॉक्यूमेंट था डिलीवरी चलान और कितना टाइम था कि गुड्स वापस आ जाना चाहिए, that was 6 months, right? On the expiry of the 6 month from the date of the removal, if the specified goods is neither sold or brought back on the date of the sale or actual sale, whichever is, or within the specified period, it is clarified that the sender can prefer the refund claim even when the specified goods were sent or taken out of India without execution of bond or LUT, if he is otherwise eligible for the refund in respect of zero rated supply. It is further clarified that refund claim cannot be preferred under Rule 96 as supply is taking place at the time after the goods have already been sent or taken out of India earlier. Above provision has been explained by way of the example. You will find very interesting example. So ABC sent 100 unit out of India. The activity is not a supply because it is for sample, exhibition, etc. No tax invoice is required to be issued in this case, but the specified goods shall be accompanied with a delivery challan under Rule 55. Out of 100 unit, 10 units are sold abroad, say after 1 month. Another 50 units are sold after 2 months. A tax invoice would be required to issue 10 and 50 as the case may be at the time of each sale in accordance with the provision. Okay. Next, the remaining 40 unit. The remaining 40 unit are not brought back within the stipulated period of 6 months. Then a tax invoice would be required to be issued for 40 unit in accordance with the provision. ABC may claim the refund of accumulated ITC, not IGST paid, for 60 unit. These are the theory provisions, so that is might be you are finding it slightly faster, but sure, I will take bit slow. Export of service. Rule 96 sub rule 9 provide the application for refund of IGST on the service exported out of India shall be filed in the RFD1 and shall be dealt in accordance with the provision of Rule 89. The person claiming the refund of IGST paid on export of goods or services should not have same received supply on which benefit of deemed export, except it relate to the capital goods against EPCG has been availed, or concessional tax rate 1% has been availed. Avail the benefit of exemption from IGST and compensation cess. I will get back to you, Abdul. I also have some reservation on this. I will get back to you in the next class. Avail the benefit of exemption from IGST and compensation cess in respect of the goods imported by EOU or for goods imported under advance authorization. Same that particular point. So, अगर उनका inward ऐसा है, then for the purpose of this sub rule, the benefit of the notification shall not be considered to have been availed only where the registered person has paid IGST, compensation cess, on input has availed exemption, only basic custom duty under the said notification. So, again, I can say the rule 9610. I have told you that if you have the inward supply of these concessional tax rate notification or that custom notification, then you cannot export on IGST compulsory. It should be under LUT. Okay. Rule 96A we have discussed in the import export chapter also. You remember that if you furnish the LUT, it means it is an undertaking. It is an undertaking. Undertaking or to whom? Undertaking regarding that if you exporting the goods, you will export within 90 days, or service, you will bring the realization within 12 months. If not, then after the expiry, you will, after the expiry of this period, you will pay the taxes within 15 days along with interest. They are saying, yes, it has been discussed in detail in the import export chapter. So fine. Okay. Recovery of the refund. Now, tell me one thing. Refund, see, a refund of export of goods or export of services. Can we file refund application? Can we file a refund application without foreign currency realization? Can we file the refund application इन केस ऑफ ए, इन केस ऑफ बी, क्या हम गुड्स के केस में कैन वी फाइल द रिफंड एप्लीकेशन विदाउट फॉरेन करेंसी रियलाइजेशन? कैन वी फाइल द रिफंड एप्लीकेशन इन केस ऑफ द एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ सर्विस विदाउट रियलाइजेशन? Can we file the refund application in both the cases, or we cannot file the refund application in any of the case? My point is, you have not received the realization in the foreign currency. Can you file the refund application for goods, for services, for both, or for? Oh my God, very nice. Earlier you were right, Namrata, but now you are wrong. Or tell me, can we file the refund application without foreign currency realization? For goods, answer is yes, and for services, answer is no. Meaning thereby, you cannot file the refund application for export of services without FIRC, foreign inward remittance certificate or bank realization certificate. You can't file refund application. But for goods, you can file the refund application. And suppose you have filed the refund application and you have received the refund. Received the refund of export of goods. Then rule 96B and read with 16 subsection 3 का proviso. If the foreign currency not received as per the FEMA time limit, if the foreign currency not received as per the FEMA time limit, amount of the refund has to pay back to government along with interest. As per the proviso to 16.3, the registered person making the zero rated supply the goods without payment of tax, in case of the non-realization, be liable to deposit the refund so received, along with applicable interest within 30 days after the expiry of the time limit under FEMA. And this rule 96B also says, whenever you receive the realization in future, you can also again apply for the refund. ठीक है, आप एक बार रीड कर लेना, you will find this particular point. Now this part we will discuss in the next class. ठीक है, from refund of tax wrongly collected paid we will discuss. Let me go to the top. Filing of the refund application, supply regarded as deemed export. कोई डाउट तो नहीं है ना? We have 40. So fine, I feel that I should not start again. What is the concept of section 77? Suppose there is a concept of 77. I have made one supply to which I treat as an interstate. मेरे हिसाब से वो सप्लाई क्या interstate, and I have paid the IGST. Subsequently, I myself found or department found it has been noticed that it was intrastate supply. Then section 77, read with section 19, it says that pay the correct tax now, that is C plus S, and take the refund of the wrong taxes. Time limit would be started from the day when you pay the correct tax. The time limit is 2 years for the refund application. Time limit is 2 years for the refund application. but the time limit is started from the date when you pay the correct taxes. Important, section 77 does not attract interest portion. Next is refund to the United Nations organization, embassies, section 55, read with section 54(2) of the CGST Act. The united body, these are having the number in the GST that is called UIN number, unique identity number, and that is unregistered person. If you read the definition of the registered person, it says that person who has taken the registration, section 22, 24, but does not include UIN. It means the UIN number is not the GST registered person. Then what is the purpose? The main purpose to allot the UIN number to them to grant the refund. The supplies made to the UN body and embassies may be exempted from payment of tax as per the international obligation. However, this exemption has been operationalized by way of the refund mechanism. It means, suppose I am making the supply to the UIN, any number, then I will charge the GST. Whatever the GST I have charged, that UIN body will file the refund application. Earlier, it was 6 months, 18 months. Then finally, they have given the time 2 years from the last day of the quarter. So they have to file the refund application on quarterly basis. UIN body notified under section 55 can claim the refund of the taxes paid by them on the inward supplies. The claim has to be made before the expiry of, initially it was 6 months, then 18 months, then now 2 years. Okay. Who is entitled for the refund under section 55? They are saying any specialized agency of the United Nations organization, any multilateral financial institution, consulate or embassies, or any other person as may be notified in this behalf. Okay. So that you can read is specified. Time limit is now 2 years. 2 years would be counted from the last day of the quarter in which supply was received. Form number, it will be in the prescribed form, but they have to RFD 10. RFD 10 is the refund application form number for the UIN. Normally it is RFD 01, but only in case of the UIN, there is a separate refund application form number is RFD 10, and once in every quarter. And also they have to submit GSTR 11. What is the GSTR 11? Basically the inward supply ka statement. Like in normal case, it is GSTR 2A. So for them, it is GSTR 11. Acknowledgement for the refund claim. Condition to be satisfied for sanctioning the refund. Inward supply were received from a registered person against the tax invoice. Name and GST number on the tax invoice. Such other restriction. However, where UIN is not mentioned in a tax invoice, the refund of tax paid by the applicant on such invoice shall still be available if the copy of the invoice duly attested by the authorized representative of UIN is submitted along with the refund application. In other words, if UIN is not mentioned on the tax invoice, the refund shall be available on submission of attested copy. Okay. Supremacy of the provision in case of inconsistency. So, अगर कोई provision inconsistent है तो क्या होगा? तो हमारा जो international agreement है that will prevail. Where an express provision in a treaty or other international agreement to which the President or the Government of India is a party is inconsistent with the provision of GST rules, such treaty shall prevail, obviously. Specialized agencies notified in section 55 entitled to refund of IGST paid on import of the goods. The specialized agency notified under section 55 entitled to the refund of IGST paid on import of the goods as seen above. Section 55 provide the refund of the taxes paid on notified supply of the goods or services. Section 3 subsection 7 of the custom provide for a parity between the IGST attracted on import and IGST applicable on the domestic supply. Therefore, on the principle of parity, a specialized agency ought to get the refund of IGST on import of the goods. What is the rate of interest on the refund? They are saying normally the time limit is 60 days. If the refund has not been granted in 60 days, then rate would be 6% interest rate beyond 60 days. Okay. The notification number 13. If the refund is because of any order passed by adjudicating authority or appellate authority or appellate tribunal or court, then the rate would be, instead of 6, it would be 9%. Order sanctioning interest on delayed refund, Rule 94, where any interest is due and payable to the applicant under section 56. Proper officer. So, yahan we are stopping at this stage. So, we can spend 10-15 minutes on the quick round of the question answer. And we will start from 58 page and then again, we will complete the balance part in the next class. So, I have to stop here so that we can move to the quick round of the question answer. Ready? If you have any question, you may ask, but meanwhile, let me ask some of the question. Okay. So, can you tell me the situation where the refund of input tax is not permitted? A refund of accumulated ITC in 2 cases. In zero rated supply, under LUT or under inverted duty, still we are not entitled to take the refund. When we are not entitled to take the refund? Answer is, one case would be where the goods exported out of India is subject to the export duty. Correct? नहीं refund तो मिलता ही उसमें. You are entitled, Abdul, you are entitled to take the refund. If you are purchasing at concessional rate, you are allowed to take the refund at separate application, not like as an export. ठीक है, रिफंड मिलता है. हाँ, नम्रता इज राइट कि अगर ड्रॉबैक क्लेम किया इन केस ऑफ सीजीएसटी, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट, इन केस ऑफ सीजीएसटी अगर ड्रॉबैक क्लेम किया, यू कैन नॉट टेक द रिफंड. बट अगर कस्टम का कोई रिफंड क्लेम ड्रॉबैक क्लेम किया या एक्साइज का ड्रॉबैक क्लेम किया तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. If goods exported out of India and refund has been received विदाउट रियलाइजेशन, तो अगर फेमा की टाइम लिमिट में वो रियलाइजेशन नहीं होता तो देन व्हाट इज द कॉम्प्लिकेशन? इफ आई हैव टेकन द रिफंड ऑन एक्सपोर्ट ऑफ द गुड्स, नाउ amount has not been realized in the foreign currency as per the time limit of FEMA. What is the complication? Repay along with interest. Repay along with interest. If I am furnishing the letter of undertaking, then within how many days the goods should be exported? If I am furnishing the letter of undertaking, within how many days it should be एक्सपोर्टेड, कितने दिन में एक्सपोर्ट हो जाना चाहिए? इज देयर एनी रिक्वायरमेंट? 90 days, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट। कितना अमाउंट था जिसके नीचे रिफंड अलॉट नहीं होगा? दे विल नॉट गिव मी द रिफंड इफ द अमाउंट इज लेसर देन हाउ मच? नो रिफंड शैल बी पेड टू एन एप्लीकेंट इफ द अमाउंट इज लेस देन हाउ मच? ₹1000. In case of export of the goods on IGST or on LUT, which route is automatic route? On IGST or on LUT, which route is automatic route? On IGST. Correct. Next question, we are calculating the refund list of the below three. When we are calculating the refund, we are saying the maximum refund amount would be list of the below three. Can you tell me what was those three items? What was those three, I can say comparison, lower of the three would be refunded. तो क्या था? Any idea? Okay, no problem. First, as per formula, then balance ITC balance available in the electronic credit ledger at the end of the tax period to which refund relates, and electronic credit ledger ka balance on the date of refund application. These three balance, whichever is lower. ठीक है. So we have discussed one concept that different tax rate at different point of time, same tax rate at different point of time, different tax rate at same point of time. Something we have discussed. I like to ask when or in which case I will not be entitled to take the refund if I'm doing the trading of the goods or if I'm doing the manufacturing of the goods. मेरा टैक्स रेट हायर से लोअर हो गया, can I get the refund? I'm doing the trading activity. My rate of the taxes was lower than at which I have purchased. I have purchased at 18 and sold at 12. Can I get the refund of 6%? I'm doing the trading of the goods. I'm doing the trading. क्या मुझे refund मिलेगा? Will I be entitled to take the refund of accumulated ITC due to the inversion? Because purchasing at 18%, selling at 12%. Answer is you will not entitled to take the refund of the trading. But at the same point, हमने एक चीज और पढ़ी थी कि you will entitled to take the refund in this case. What was that? See, उसी टाइम पर हमने एक चीज और पढ़ी थी कि you are entitled to take the refund of this case if you are charging the lower amount, something like that. So you are entitled. Can you tell me what was that situation in which we are entitled to take the refund? ट्रेडिंग में तो रिफंड मिलेगा नहीं, करेक्ट? यू ऑल आर करेक्ट, बट तो कौन सा केस था जिसमें रिफंड मिल जाएगा? एनी 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 आइडिया? The answer is if we are charging the lower amount because of the concessional rate notification. ठीक है, अब जो मैं क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूं बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ट्रिकी क्वेश्चन. कैन आई गेट द रिफंड ऑफ इनपुट सर्विस फॉर इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर? वेदर आई एम entitled to take the refund of input service in the case of inverted duty structure? क्या मुझे इनपुट सर्विस का रिफंड मिल जाएगा क्या अगर इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी है तो? चलो एग्री हूं इस बात से. वट एवर द आंसर यू गिवन, एग्रीड, नो रिफंड अवेलेबल. सेकेंड क्वेश्चन, बट इन द फॉर्मूला दे आर यूजिंग इनपुट सर्विस का आईटीसी. In the revised formula for refund of inverted duty, they are using the ITC of input service. Can you conceptually tell कि वो फिर क्यों यूज कर रहे हैं? And this part is correct that only refund of input is allowed in the inverted duty. Input service allowed नहीं है. Input service is not allowed. So then my next question, तो फिर input service को फॉर्मूले में क्यों यूज कर रहे हैं? Why they are using the formula input service? अभी कोई फॉर्मूला रिवाइज हुआ था इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर का रिफंड का, तो why they are using the input service का आईटीसी? कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्वेश्चन है, बताएं. And also I would expect that please write the formula of inverted duty. भले देख के लिखो या बिना देखकर लिखो, कोई फर्क नहीं है. See the study material, no problem, but write the formula in the chat. Refund का फॉर्मूला क्या है in case of the inverted duty? See and then write. If you are remember then well and good, no problem. If you are not remember, not recall, आप देखिए और चैट में लिख के दीजिए. ये तो सबका काम है, ये सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है मेरी. And you want me to tell the page number also? Go to the page number 40. नहीं. हाँ, एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट आंसर बाय कीर्ति. जो माइनस करते हैं ना टैक्स अमाउंट लाइबिलिटी, अर्लियर वी आर रिड्यूसिंग द एंटायर लाइबिलिटी फ्रॉम द इनपुट का आईटीसी. नाउ दे आर रिड्यूसिंग द माइनस अमाउंट. वो कैसे रिड्यूस करते हैं माइनस अमाउंट को? लाइबिलिटी को प्रोपोर्शनेटली कम कर रहे हैं इनपुट एंड इनपुट सर्विस के रेशियो में, बाय विच व्हाट हैपन, द रिफंड अमाउंट वुड बी इंक्रीज्ड. लास्ट क्वेश्चन, आप एक बार फॉर्मूला देखिए पेज नंबर 40 ऑफ स्टडी मटेरियल एंड देन प्लीज राइट इन द चैट. आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग फ्रॉम ईच एंड एवरी पार्टिसिपेंट टू गिव द रिप्लाई. Turnover of inverted rated supply of goods or services multiplied by net ITC divided by adjusted total turnover. ठीक है. Now I will minus tax liability on inverted rated supplies multiplied by net ITC divided by ITC of input and input service. ठीक है. टोटल आईटीसी नहीं लेंगे, डिवाइड, हाँ यहाँ पर मिस्टेक कर सकते हैं, टोटल आईटीसी नहीं लेंगे, यहाँ पे आईटीसी और इनपुट सर्विस से लेंगे. लेट्स से यू हैव टेकन द आईटीसी ऑफ कैपिटल गुड्स विल नॉट बी इंक्लूडेड. यहां पर टर्नओवर ऑफ इन्वर्टेड गुड्स भी है और सर्विसेज भी है, ध्यान रखना. यहां पर गुड्स भी है और सर्विसेज भी है. हियर देयर इज सर्विसेज आल्सो. ठीक है. नेट आईटीसी डिवाइडेड बाय एडजस्टेड टोटल टर्नओवर प्लस टैक्स पेबल इनटू नेट आईटीसी डिवाइडेड बाय आईटीसी. परफेक्ट है, परफेक्ट. कीर्ति अब्दुल, राइट? एनीवन would like to give the answer? ठीक है, फिर आज की क्लास हम कंप्लीट करते हैं एंड विल मीट ऑन द नेक्स्ट क्लास एंड कंप्लीट द रिफंड चैप्टर. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच. गुड नाइट टू ऑल ऑफ यू. विल मीट इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास. अशोक जी, आप